Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Adonis podcast. I'm filming right by this beautiful water fountain, and it's a public park, so I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to film here regardless of the time of day, but we'll see. Almost no one comes here, which is nice because I have like a nice quiet area. To start today's episode off, I am going to read to you a personal quote of mine. I wrote this myself and posted it on Twitter this morning. The quote goes, "Since I've landed in Miami, several people in my own circle have tried to dictate the way I speak, the way I act, and the way I portray myself throughout my content. So let me make this very fucking clear because I'm only gonna say this once. I will not be told what to do or how to present myself on my own platform. I don't represent anybody but myself. I don't care what you have to say about it. I don't care what the haters have to say about it. I don't care if you think I look gay or stupid or idiotic, because y'all ain't paying my fucking bills. Y'all ain't fighting my battles. Most of you imbeciles blabbering your fat mouths don't have the courage to start your own podcast like I did and get on camera like I do. Most of y'all lack the courage to get out of bed in the morning. You think I care what you have to say? Your whole life is a fucking joke. If you don't like me, no one is forcing you to associate with me. So before you come at me again, keep in mind that 1, I don't give a fuck, and 2, fuck off." Gotta make sure there's no serial killers in the area. Okay. So guys, you know when you write something like what I just read on the internet, but you don't call anyone out specific, or you see something like what I just posted on someone else's account and you repost it or share it to your story. Once again, you don't know anyone, but someone sees it and they then swipe up on your story and they get upset because they know that you're calling them out even though you never mentioned them by name. And the reason they know that you're calling them out is because they know that they did something to you, and therefore they are aware of the fact that you are indirectly calling them out. Well, that's what's happened to me today. I have a slightly bigger circle, or so I thought, down here in South Florida than I did in Tallahassee. And since I've gotten here, the people that I know, there has been more than one person, but there's one person in particular that really got on my fucking nerves. They have basically tried to take over my fucking podcast. They're telling me what to do, what to say. They're telling me they don't agree with me at all. They're telling me that most of what I say is wrong, that my whole worldview is wrong. And while I'm open to listening to constructive criticism, I'm not going to sit here and take shit from people within my own circle and let them dictate my own podcast. If you think I'm so wrong, you go ahead and go start your own podcast. If you're against everything that I do, then go start your own shit. Don't come over here and try to convince me to change my entire dynamic. Like, that's just not gonna happen. So in this case, my friend Blaise, he's been on season 2 of the Tallahassee podcast multiple times, and he was in the last episode of the Adonis podcast called Welcome to Miami. Me and Blaise have a lot of the same ideologies. We're both Tate supporters. We're both students of the real world. And we've both been very vocal about what's going on right now with the Tate brothers in jail in Miami. I just moved from Tallahassee to South Florida, so I literally moved across the state by myself. Upon arrival on my first day, Blaise drove me out to Miami so that we could stand outside of the detention center where Tate is being held at and protest and live stream. He got me some food, we protested, he introduced me to some people. It was a good time. It went really well for me, especially because I was live streaming on my podcast on kick.com because TikTok would have censored my ass. And as I was live streaming the podcast, talking about the Tate situation, talking about how much the Tates have helped me, talking about certain situations where I relate to the Tates, other streamers that were in the area, they began to notice me, and they began to interview me, they began to film me, and I basically went viral on TikTok. People were clipping my stream, people were writing articles about me. It worked out really well for me. Now, obviously, when you're in public industry, especially when you get into controversial subjects, as I often do, you're going to get some backlash, you're going to get some hate, people are going to make fun of you. In this instance, there was one particular hate page that helped me get noticed because they tried to make fun of me. One of the clips was them, I basically said that if it wasn't for Andrew and Tristan Tate, I would probably be a faggot. And what I meant by that is that we live in a society where, from the schools to the government to just society as a whole, for a while now, it's kind of softened up, but for a while now, they try to force us all to be woke. They try to force everyone to be gay. They try to force everyone to be a homophobe. Not a homophobe, I said that backwards. But they try to force us to be gay. They try to force us to be transgender. They try to convince men to go take ballet classes and yoga classes and dye their hair and do all these feminine, girly activities. And if you went against it, you were considered a homophobe. If you're a straight man who likes women and you don't want to fuck dudes, they called you homophobic. They called you a Nazi. They called you all these different names. Basically, you either gave in or you got bullied to the point where you could lose your job, where you could get banned off of social media, where they basically tortured you until you gave in. And Andrew and Tristan Tate taught us to resist the slave mind. They taught us that as a man, you need to be willing to stand up for what you believe in. You need to be willing to die for what you believe in. And they taught us that no matter what they do, we must always stand up for ourselves and we must always stand strong. Well, these people took it out of context and they made it seem as if I was saying that, hey, if it wasn't for the Tate brothers, I'd be sucking another dude's dick right now. Obviously, that's not what I meant. But these haters try to take shit out of context to make me look bad, to make Tate look bad because I'm a supporter of Tate. Anyone with a brain knows that's not what I meant. The other thing that they took to try and make me and also Tate look bad, because I'm a supporter of Tate and I'm advocating for Tate right now, is the sex allegations. Because one of the things that I said on my live stream is that, like Andrew, I've been falsely accused of rape and sexual crimes. So I relate to Andrew in the sense that I've been falsely accused and had my reputation tarnished and had my name dragged through the mud for shit that I never did. So that Sam hate page, they tried to say that I was self-admitting to rape, that I was self-snitching to being a rapist. Once again, obviously, that's not true. Anyone with a brain knows this. Self-snitching would have been if I said, hey guys, I'm a rapist. Me going on my podcast or on someone else's stream and saying, hey, I'm not a rapist, but I was accused of being a rapist, that's not self-snitching. You can't self-snitch if you didn't actually do it. But these people, they try to take things out of context. They try to make you look bad. Some people, they'll edit. Okay, for example, I could say right now, hi, how are you? And the skilled editor could re-edit that and make it seem as if I said, how are you, hi? And that's just a simple sentence. Some of these editors are so good that they will rearrange my words altogether to make it seem like I said something completely different than what I originally said. And some people do this because they're haters and they want to make you look bad and they want to spread false information. Some of these are just clippers who are looking for views, because the more views they get, the more money they get. So they're just in it for the money. They don't necessarily hate you. They're not necessarily trying to make you look bad. But Andrew explained this on the Jack Neal podcast. There's a clip where he talks about self-defense, and he basically says, not his exact words, but he basically says, if a bitch tries to attack me, I'll take the machete from her and wave it in her face. And the clippers clipped it so that it seems like he's saying, I'm going to take this machete and wave it in this bitch's face. They weren't trying to make him look bad. It's just that that goes more viral than the original clip where he gives more context and he says, if a bitch attacks me, I'll take the machete and wave it in her face. This happens to everyone. It happens to singers, to actors, to influencers, to Tate supporters, to podcasters. It happens to everybody. That's the nature of the game, and you have to be willing to tune out the hate. Well, Blaise was not happy about that because he's connected to the Tate team itself, and the second time that he took me to Miami, on the way there, he basically was whining the entire car trip that I was making him look bad because he's associating himself with me, and he represents Tate, and now I represent Tate. And he's wrong about that. Let me make this very clear. I do not represent Tate. I support Tate. There is a difference. I am not Tate's slave. I am not anyone's slave. I support him, sure. He's helped me a lot, sure. But I don't blindly agree with everything he says. I don't blindly follow him. I show my support for him. I show my gratitude towards him. But I still have my own thoughts and opinions. I still do my own thing. I am still my own person. And you know what's interesting is that Blaise is the biggest dick rider of Andrew Tate there is, yet he does everything opposite of what Andrew Tate teaches. So he basically told me that people were complaining, that people from the Tate team were complaining about me, and that I was making Tate look bad, and that I needed to tone it down, that I was doing too much, and that less is more. He was saying that people were going as far as to say that he shouldn't bring me along next time and that he should leave me be because I was going to damage the Tate image. And they're trying to make Tate look as good as possible in front of the judge on the 13th. Well, I'm not Tate. I'm a Tate supporter, but I'm not Tate. And every time that I tried to speak my piece, he would get angry. He would tell me, "You're pissing me off right now." And he would get more aggressive. So I just shut up. And you know, the way he acted was completely inappropriate and uncalled for. Like, he kept trying to put me down. He went as far as to accuse me of being a faggot and said that I was gay. Give me 1 second. Someone's texting me. I want to make sure that's not important. Because people were telling him that I was gay. People were telling him that I looked gay. And that's an insult that I've gotten over the years. People used to say I was gay because I talked to a lot of girls. Now people say that I'm gay because I talk to no girls. And Blaise specifically, he specifically said that he's always had this thought in the back of his head that I might secretly be gay or questioning my sexuality. That's completely false. And I told him that. Straight up, I told him I'm 100% straight. And I said, you were there when I used to hang out with all the sorority girls. And I used to be hanging out with 5-10 girls at a time. And he said, well, that's what gay people do. They hang out with a bunch of girls and never fuck them. He doesn't know about my sexual life. Nobody does. I don't talk about that because that's a private matter. Now, I don't talk to girls. And the reason why I don't talk to girls is because I have this paranoia because multiple women have accused me of raping them. This wasn't 1 or 2 girls, which that's bad enough. That's enough to make any man be more cautious and grow distrusting of women as a whole. But no, I had entire sorority houses of women going to the police station and writing falsified police reports in my name. I had girls that I had never even met before, but they knew who I was because they had seen my content online. And to help their friends out paint a false narrative of me to get me off the internet and to shut me up because I was offending them and their culture, they went down to the police station and they called the police station and they went online and spread rumors to make me look like a rapist. So I have this extreme paranoia where I'll see a cute girl and I'll acknowledge the fact that she's cute and whatnot, and I won't even say hi to her because I'm like, bro, she's just gonna accuse me of rape. It's not worth it. Besides, I've got other things to do. I just moved across the state, so obviously I have a lot to get done. I've got goals to accomplish. I've got things to do. Women are ultimately a distraction. Sex within itself is a distraction. Sex is not like breathing. You don't need to have sex. Whether you're watching porn all day or whether you're personally fucking a bitch all day, it's still the same distraction. The time that you spend fucking bitches, you could be spending to build your business. You could be spending in the gym. You could be spending quality time with family. I'm not saying don't have sex, don't ever fuck anybody, because there's a lot of time wasters. TV is a time waster. Video games is a time waster. Reading books is a time waster. There's a lot of time wasters out there. But there are a lot of men who have this idea that in order to be men, they need to be fucking bitches all the time. It's like, no, you'd be better off jerking off to some anime bullshit on your PC. Like, fucking bitches all day, it does not get the bills paid. And quite honestly, there are a lot of losers who don't have their shit together, who fuck girls all day somehow. And it really doesn't matter whether you get 100 bitches or no bitches, because in today's modern society, every woman's a fucking whore. Don't fuck anyone. So it doesn't matter. Like, when guys brag about their body count, when they brag about how many bitches they get and whatnot, I don't care. I actually avoid those type of men, because it shows that he's insecure within himself. That's why he's bragging about how many bitches he gets or doesn't get, because guys who actually get bitches, they don't have the need to brag about it to the entire world. They keep that shit to themselves. They're humble about it. The guy who doesn't get bitches but wants to seem cool brags about the fact that he gets a bunch of bitches because he's an insecure bastard. So he's coming at me and saying that I'm gay, saying that I'm a faggot. He keeps saying, he's like, dude, you talk at a high-pitched voice. You do weird poses. He's like, stop moving your hips when you talk. I've never done that. I do not move my hips when I talk. Like, you're just making shit up at this point. He's telling me you're either gay or you're a virgin. Neither's true. And he's like, okay, well, the day that I see you fucking a bitch, I'll believe you. When do you plan to see me fuck a bitch? Because those were his exact words were, the day that I see you fucking a bitch, I'll believe you. Bitch, when I get a girl over or when I go to some girl's house, I'm not going to call you and tell you, hey, come sit in this cuck chair and watch me fuck this girl so that you can see that I'm not gay. Like, at the end of the day, I know that I'm not gay. I know that I'm a straight man. If you want to keep believing that I'm gay because you've known me for 4 years and some strangers told you some shit about me that wasn't true and you decide to believe a bunch of strangers over someone that you've known for years, that's your problem. Like, at this point, there's nothing I can say that will convince him that I'm a straight man. First, he says I'm gay because I used to hang out with too many girls. Now he says I'm gay because I won't hang out with any girls. The truth is, I used to hang out with a lot of girls. Those girls accused me of rape, falsely accused me of rape. Now I don't talk to any girls for fear that that might happen again, and I have to go through a bunch of legal bullshit, and I have to clear my name, and I have to convince everyone that I'm not a rapist so that I can keep my job. So now I don't talk to girls. I eliminated the problem. Done. Over with. He then brings Mari into it. Everyone on this podcast now knows who Mari is. Mari's been like a prominent character, because we used to hate each other, we used to fight, then we made up, then we started live streaming together, and there's a bunch of clips of us live streaming together and having a good time and laughing and whatnot. I don't have anything bad to say about Mari. I think she's a cool person. He knows that I'm talking to her because, you know, we've been live streaming together. The clips are all over the internet. Everyone knows that we talk to each other. So he starts talking about her, and he starts calling her a whore and a slut, and he says that bitch is never gonna fuck you, and he says give me her Instagram so I can fuck her because clearly you don't. And he says to me, you need to build yourself to be the kind of man where you can call up a girl and you can say, bitch, I'm coming over to your house right now to fuck you. I don't agree with that at all. That's not how you talk to a girl. Obviously, you have to be dominant, and you can't be a little wimp. And you have to be dominant, and you have to carry yourself, and you have to have self-confidence within yourself. But that goes by you building yourself as a man and naturally building confidence and dominance through your achievements and through improving yourself every day. It does not come from faking it until you make it. And I want to make it clear, I don't talk about Mari in that way with people. Where I don't talk about her in a sexual manner like he was doing. That was all him. He did that. That was all him. I don't talk about her in that manner. If she comes up in conversation, I have nothing but good things to say about her. That was all him. I don't know why he even needed to bring her into the conversation. It was completely unnecessary. I don't know why he went off on me and endlessly accused me of being gay for 45 minutes. That was also unnecessary. The entire conversation was completely unnecessary. So we show up to Miami. We start streaming. I'm noticeably in a bad mood because I'm around the guy who just spent the past 45 minutes putting me down and basically telling me that I'm a loser and telling me all these things. And he tells me, he's like, dude, you're doing good overall. You got a lot of good traction. It's just a little things you need to work on. Nigga, no! I don't need to work on anything. I mean, obviously you need to improve yourself every day. You need to be better than you were yesterday. But the shit that he was calling out, that's not shit that needs to be improved upon. I said, if it wasn't for Tate, I'd probably be a faggot. In the sense that I would have probably been given in to the woke culture at some point. Because I would have been forced to. Because they would have kept bullying me and I wouldn't be able to find a job. And I'd be locked up in my house all day with no life. I said that I can relate to Andrew because I too have also been falsely accused by other women, and people twisted my words and they put words in my mouth and they tried to say that I was self-admitting to raping somebody. I know that's not what I did. The people who follow me know that's not what I did. People were saying online, they were like, yeah, we know what he really meant. Blaise himself said, we know what you really meant. Okay, so why the fuck is it an issue? If you know what I really meant, bro, you're gonna go after every single hater, every single troll, every single account that clips my shit and re-edits it and puts words in my mouth. You're gonna go after all of them and tell them, hey, by the way, let's clear Adonis's name. You know, he's not a rapist. Motherfucker, these people have already made up their minds about me. It doesn't matter what the fuck you say about me. They're always, once they have it in their head that I'm a rapist, they're always gonna think that. Nothing will change their minds. Because they've already made up their minds before they've even gotten to know me. I can guarantee you that those clippers didn't even bother because I reposted it and I told everyone in the comments, I said, guys, I explained this all on my podcast. Go listen to my podcast and go make your own assessment. I didn't defend myself. I didn't say that I did or didn't do it. I didn't double down on the fact that I didn't do it. I told everyone, go listen to my podcast, go listen to my story, and y'all can make your own assessments. Y'all can debate it on the comments. Y'all can talk about whether it's true or false. It's up to you guys. This motherfucker, he just started streaming, 3 weeks ago? Meanwhile, I've been doing this shit for 3 fucking years. And suddenly, he thinks he's better than me. He thinks he can tell me what to do. He thinks he can dominate me. Like, motherfucker, don't raise your voice at me. Don't fucking yell at me. Don't fucking tell me, don't say this, don't say that. You need to carry yourself better. Motherfucker, we are both 2 grown adult men. We are equal. It doesn't matter that you're taller than me. It doesn't matter that you have more muscles than me. We are equal in every regard. You have no authority over me. You have no authority over my podcast. That's the other thing he said too. He said, you can't be bringing up the podcast and you can't be bringing up yourself because this is for Tate. We need to make this about Tate. And everything that I said on the last podcast was mostly about Tate because I understand that we're here for Tate and we're here to bring attention to this matter and we're here to help Tate out after he's helped all of us. The reason why I brought up my podcast is because, number one, I'm streaming this on my podcast. So obviously I'm going to tell people, hey everyone, I'm streaming on the Adonis podcast. Today we're talking about the Tate brothers. Number two, I was explaining to everyone how Tate has helped me in different regards throughout my life, including his influence on me and my podcast. This podcast, if you listen to this podcast, anyone knows that this podcast is clearly very heavily influenced by Top G and his advice and his morality. So obviously it's gonna come up. I'm not talking about the entire live stream. Go listen to it if you don't fucking believe me. It's literally the last podcast episode. It's titled Welcome to Miami. Episode 74. But it's gonna come up. And he's like, dude, I don't even want to hear you talk about the podcast again. This isn't for us. This is for Tate. Well, I'm streaming it on my podcast, so it's gonna fucking come up. Like, are you fucking retarded? So we stream. Eventually, I get on the stream of Miami Due Process. They're a really good Twitter page. Go follow them if you haven't already. But I started streaming with them while Blaise was doing his own thing. And once I was with them, I felt like I could really get back in my circle and start talking more freely. And they actually agree with what I was saying. They told me that I was very well spoken. They told me that I knew what I was talking about. They didn't fucking tear me down like Blaise did. And obviously Blaise put me on his stream too. And he was like more respectful or whatnot. The way he acted on camera was completely different from the way that he acted off camera. And bro, I fucking hate people that do this. There are influencers big and small and streamers big and small where their on camera and off camera's personalities are complete opposites. I can personally tell you that I am one of the only people that you'll meet that I act the same way on camera and off camera. I am truly my authentic self. And that's how I got to where I am today. I didn't get to where I am today by worrying about, oh, these people think I'm a faggot. Oh, these people say I'm gay. I need to go deep in my voice. Oh, I need to go hit the gym because people think I'm too skinny or whatever. No, I need to hit the gym for myself. I need to improve myself for myself. I don't give a fuck about these people. Why am I trying to impress anyone? Because if these people have time to LARP on Twitter all day and talk shit about me, then their lives are insignificant and they're not worth talking about in the first place. Because people who actually have lives worth living, they ain't got time for that fucking bullshit. People who go on Twitter and blindly believe the narrative, they are also completely and utterly insignificant to society. Their opinions don't matter. They're basically blobs. They're like fucking roaches. They're like fucking fish swimming around in a pond. They ain't got no brain. All they do is eat, sleep, and wake up and complain. Their presence in society does not matter. They're the people that don't get shit done. They don't build the skyscrapers. They don't build the construction sites. They don't do shit. They're LARPers. That's where the term LARPing comes from. They just wake up, they're fucking zombies, and they LARP all day. And they take up space on this pathetic planet that could be used for people who actually deserve to be here, who could actually make a difference in the world. So he's saying that like, oh, the Tate team, like, they're complaining too. Fuck the Tate team then. And I say that, I want to remind you guys that I don't personally know the Tate team. I've never spoken to anyone from the Tate team. So I can't confidently say that they are saying that. But, bro, if they are saying that, then fuck that. Bro, if Tate himself would like this podcast, I don't know. I think he would like my podcast, but I can't say for sure because I've never met the guy. I've never spoken to the guy. So I genuinely don't know if he'd like my content or not. But if he watches my podcast, if he watches my content, and he doesn't like it, that's fine. I'll keep doing my own shit. I'm not changing for anybody, not even the people that I support. So, once we're on our way back, once we leave prison and we're on our way back, he brought it up, the whole conversation again, and he says to me, he's like, you carry yourself better today than you did yesterday, even though the first day I did fantastic. I was literally trending on Twitter for a good hour or two. And I couldn't help but think that maybe he's a bit jealous that people are writing articles about me and not him. Maybe he's a bit jealous that he's been out here streaming for 3 weeks in the heat into the middle of the night, and then I show up and on my first day, people are interviewing me instead of him, and people are writing articles about me instead of him. Just a thought in the back of my head, I'm throwing it out there. Maybe this anger that he has towards me is envy. Because I really don't see what right he has to be so upset about me, about a podcast that isn't even his podcast to begin with. Like, you're doing your own stream. I don't fucking tell you what to do or what to say on your stream. Don't fucking tell me what to do on mine. If you want to let the opinions of other people control what you say and do on your live stream, that's your business. I do my own thing. Like, I don't force my opinions on anybody. I have my beliefs. I have my worldview. I put it on my podcast. My podcast is here if you want to listen to it. You don't have to listen to it. I'm not going to stand outside with the megaphone like one of those woke fatty Karens and force my opinions down anyone's throat. If you want to debate, we can debate. If you want to do a street interview, we can do a street interview. I'm chill, but I don't force my opinions on anybody. Unlike him, I don't tell people what they can and cannot say on their own fucking podcast. Like, this guy's got a fucking stick up his ass. Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, what, you think because you drove me out here and you helped me out, now you're my fucking owner? Now I'm your fucking pet? Now I'm your fucking puppy? Now you get to dictate what the fuck I do? Now you get to tell me what to do on my own fucking stream that I'm working, I'm fucking editing it and clipping it and putting it out there, and I'm dealing with my accounts getting banned and having to start over from zero over and over and over again because these fucking idiots are trying to shut me up? Fuck out of here, dude. So, once again, I try to explain my side of it because I don't agree with him. I'm not going to tell him I agree with him because I don't. Once again, he can sense that I disagree with him, and he gets all upset. And I'm like, bro, like, am I supposed to blindly agree with everything you say? Am I your fucking pet? Like, am I your fucking bitch? I'm supposed to just blindly agree with everything you say and do everything you say? That's not how a conversation works. You know, mature people can agree to, mature friends can agree to disagree and move on. They can come to a conclusion that, you know what, we share a lot of similar interests and opinions, but on this particular subject, we disagree on. So what? But no, he gets fucking agitated and he starts raising his voice and he starts going off on me and insulting me like a fucking child. So, I made that post, and when he saw that post, he responded to me, "This better not be about me." And I said, well, who else would it be about? Like, if you have to say, this better not be about me, it's because you're aware that you did something wrong and that it is about you. Otherwise, you would have just swiped up and said something like, oh, what happened? Or you would have laughed at it, or you would have not even given a fuck to fucking swipe up in the first place. And you know, it's so ironic that Tate teaches us to think for ourselves and to be ourselves, and then Blaise wants to do the complete opposite of that, and he wants me to care what other people that I don't even know have to say and what they're posting about me. And, oh, you're making Tate look bad, you're representing Tate now. No, I'm not representing Tate. I'm a fan of Tate, I support Tate. I've never fucking met the guy in my life. I do not represent him. I can't make that any fucking clearer. I do not represent Tate. I am not affiliated with either of the Tate brothers. I don't represent anybody but myself. That doesn't mean I'm against the Tate brothers. That doesn't mean that I don't believe in their message. That doesn't mean that I don't support them. But I'm not gonna get on my knees and suck anyone's fucking dick. Just because, oh, if you don't, then you're not a real fan. Fucking retards, get out of here. Another thing that Andrew Tate teaches is that if you want to get something done, you have to believe in yourself. Obviously, you have to put in the blood, sweat, and tears, but you also have to believe in yourself, because if you put in the work but you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to get shit done. And Blaise ignores that advice too. So I told Blaise, like, my plan in Miami is to buy an apartment downtown, rent an apartment downtown, and he immediately shuts it down. He's like, you can't do that. He's like, it's too expensive. I'm like, well, obviously I can't like sign a lease tomorrow and buy an apartment tomorrow. Like, it's gonna take time, but I'm gonna do it. And he goes, dude, like, you're thinking unrealistically. Like, you can't, it's too expensive down here. You can't do it. I'm like, bro, the Tate brothers literally grew up in poverty. They grew up dirt poor. And Andrew tells stories when he goes on podcasts about how he always said that he was gonna be rich, about how he was gonna be the guy with the Bugattis and the garage full of cars and the mansion and the bitches. And look where he's at today. Like, when he was dirt poor, when he was worse off than I ever was, he believed in himself. And I told this to Blaise, and he's like, dude, he's like, yes, you gotta believe in yourself, but you gotta be realistic too. Nigga, that's not unrealistic. What's unrealistic is if I go to a skyscraper and I jump off and I expect to shoot a web out of my wrist like Spider-Man and swing away. If I jump off a fucking building and I expect to fly away like Superman. That's unrealistic thinking. That's unrealistic wishing. But me going, I want to rent an apartment in downtown Miami it's too expensive for me to afford right now, so I'm going to find a way to afford the apartment instead of just saying, oh, I can't afford it, so I guess I'll move somewhere else. That's not unrealistic. That's a goal that you need to work towards and you need to achieve. A fake-ass nigga would say that, you know what, it's too expensive, I'm gonna go live in Fort Lauderdale instead because it's cheaper. And yeah, Fort Lauderdale is a concrete jungle and the people are ruder there and there's more traffic and there's not as much to do. But Miami's too expensive, so let me move to Fort Lauderdale instead. Let me settle for less. And maybe you do settle for less temporarily while you're working towards a bigger goal. But real men don't settle for less. Real men don't settle for a girl that's any less than a 10 out of 10. Real men don't settle for an apartment or a house that's not the apartment or house that they truly want. Real men don't even settle for a watch that's not truly what they want. If I go to the store and I want a watch, and like if I'm gonna spend my hard-earned money on a watch, I'm gonna make sure it's the right color, I'm gonna make sure it's the right size, I'm gonna make sure it's the right shade, I'm gonna make sure it fits right. Oh, I wanted a blue and gold watch and they only have black and green. Guess I'll buy the black and green one. You spineless cunt. What's wrong with you? Be a man, have a backbone, stand up for what you believe in. Hey, I can't afford that apartment right now, so I'm going to find a way to afford it. I'm gonna work my ass off so that I can afford it. I'm gonna look for a higher paying job so that I can afford it. But this guy, bro, and the whole car ride back, it was a very awkward car and quiet car ride. Everything that came out of my mouth, he just shut it down with negativity. I said, hey, why do you have 2 Twitter accounts? And he immediately goes, don't be asking me no stupid questions like that. I'm like, dude, it was just a question. Like, I was just making the conversation. Damn. He's like, why don't you have 2 Twitter accounts? I'm like, bro, it's just a question. I'm not attacking you. I don't know what you got going on. I don't know what your issue is, but you need to figure your shit out. Don't take it out on me. I ain't doing anything to you. The fuck are you taking it out on me for? I would bring up girls, he shut it down. I bring up movies, music, he shut it down. Oh, another hypocritical thing he said is he keeps implying that I'm gay, right? For like 45 minutes, he keeps accusing me of being gay. Bro literally has Drake songs playing in his fucking car. Drake is one of the gayest rappers in Hollywood right now. Every single day he gets trolled all over Twitter because he acts gay and fruity as fuck. There's a video right now of him crawling on the floor towards his golf mommy. He made a list on Instagram of reasons why I'm single, which I made fun of. Like, bro, every time you see this man, this is why Kendrick made a whole diss track on him that went viral and became one of the most streamed songs on Spotify and got played during the Super Bowl, is because Drake is that big of a wuss. Like, bro, everyone makes fun of this guy. He's a fucking wuss. He's bitch made. And then Blaise has the audacity to call me bitch made while he's listening to Drake in the car. How hypocritical is that? Like, you're calling me a faggot. Bitch, you're actively listening to a faggot. His music isn't even good. It makes my fucking ears bleed. Drake is the male version of Taylor Swift. He acts 20 years younger than he actually is. All his songs are the same. All his songs are about the same stuff. And he causes his own drama and then plays victim. He acts like a girl. He's gay. But, I'm the gay one because I want to go out and help you with the protest and speak my mind. And by the way, I've only seen 2 negative posts about me on Twitter. So far, everyone is saying good things about me on Twitter. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull this up right now. Hang on. This guy on Twitter, Dark Pond, he posted this about me. And he said, follow this guy and force the algorithm to see him. He's out there on the street with nothing to hide, speaking about what he believes is true. He's not acting or seeking anything but to say it and be heard. Nothing should ever come to break that spirit. He's absolutely correct, and I appreciate his support. I've been seeing a lot of similar posts to this, and I appreciate everyone's support. That last part, nothing should ever come to break that spirit. Well, what Blaise was trying to do is exactly that. He was trying to break my spirit. So, I texted him this morning. I said, good morning. Listen, I didn't really get a chance to say this yesterday because the more I talked about it, the more pissed off you got. And knowing you, I hate these guys. Obnoxious assholes think they're cool by blowing everyone's ears out with their car engines. As I was saying, the more I talked about it, the more pissed off you got. And knowing you, you'll probably get pissed when you see this, but it needs to be said. The conversation we had last night about how I present myself was the most retarded shit I've ever heard in my life. I've been doing podcasting and streaming for 3 years. I've been doing this a lot longer than you. People will always have shit to say. People will try to make you look bad, but you will get absolutely nowhere if you change yourself for others for fear of being judged. You allow the opinions of people who don't even know me to poison your mind, despite the fact that Tate teaches us to do the complete opposite. And it's honestly insulting that you've known me for 3 to 4 years, but you let the opinions of others control you. I do not represent Tate. I support him. There's a difference. And they should be thankful that I'm one of the few people willing to stand out there and show support. The only person I represent is myself. These clowns trying to twist my words, they don't pay my bills. They don't help me achieve my goals, so I don't give a fuck about them, and neither should you. And as far as you questioning if I'm gay when I'm clearly not, is beyond pathetic. First, I'm gay because I used to talk to girls. Now I'm gay because I don't talk to any. The real reason they try to convince you I'm gay is because they're jealous it's me with all the girls and not them. And the reason I don't talk to girls now is because I'm fucking paranoid, because almost every bitch I've known has falsely accused me of rape. I've got shit to do. I don't have time for women's retardedness. Having sex won't help me achieve that. If it happens naturally, fine, but I don't need sex. It's not like breathing. And also, my sex life is nobody's fucking business. How can you call me gay when you listen to Drake, who's the biggest fag in Hollywood? He's trending on X all the time because he outs Fruity and simps on women. That being said, I've said my piece. I hope we can put this behind us and accept our differences, but I'm not changing anything about myself for anyone, including the Tates. If that's going to be an issue, then we can't collab anymore. And I'll go off and do my own thing. I appreciate your help. Thank you for taking me out there. Thank you for welcoming me into the city. I do appreciate it. He responds, I'm trying to fucking help you. You're a retard. I only responded to be nice. Stop being an idiot. Nigga, I got nothing else to say. I'm only responding to help you, and you refuse help. You cause your own problems. Nigga, you have no car and no money. You gonna take the bus. Try to help you, kid. You're ungrateful. You got a rude awakening in store. Yeah, dude, you're fried, you're cooked, you're hopeless and helpless, and very disrespectful of Tate. You don't deserve this. I don't know why you're replying. Nigga, go your separate way. Good luck. I said, you say it's not about me, but every stream I do is on my podcast, so it's going to come up. Clearly, you're not reading my texts, because I still thanked you for your help. The way you're responding is childish and immature. I will no longer associate with your buffoonery. And then I blocked him on every platform we're friends on. I blocked him inside of the real world. I blocked his number and I deleted his contact. I'll probably see him again because despite him telling me not to go back to the prison, I will go back to the prison because we're protesting on public property and he can't fucking tell me what to do. I will be at that protest on August 13th in front of the Miami courthouse. Maybe I'll see him there, maybe I won't. because over 400 people confirmed to be in attendance. But I will not be bullied by my own quote-unquote friends. I will not be dictated into what I can and cannot do on my own fucking podcast, on my own social media accounts. And by the way, for those of you watching at home, because Blaise is actually making a very bad example out of Tate right now. What Blaise is doing is the complete opposite of what Tate is doing. Andrew and Tristan Tate do not teach their students to drag their friends down, to lift themselves up. Andrew and Tristan Tate teach their students to always be respectful, to always be kind, to put in the hard work, to help others, to encourage others. What he's doing right now, where he's helping me, but there's strings attached, where he's trying to control me, where he's trying to break my spirit, where he's trying to pull me down so that he can lift himself up, that is the complete opposite of what Andrew and Tristan Tate teach. And this isn't up to me because, like I said, I'm not associated with the Tates. I just support them. But if it were up to me, Andrew Blaise should be banned from the real world. He should be banned from that school because he is not taking a single lesson to heart. He listens to what Tate has to say, and he repeats everything that Tate says like a puppet. But then when someone like myself actually applies those lessons to real life, he fucking tries to tear me down, and he fucking tries to tell me that I'm doing it wrong. He tries to tell me that I can't do certain things because I'm not Tate, because of who I am. Oh, wanting an apartment in Miami, that's unrealistic. Yeah, with that kind of fucking mentality it is, with that kind of fucking mentality, you won't achieve anything in your fucking life ever. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You're the exact person that I speak out against on my podcast. Andrew Blaise is a fake person. He is a pretender. He wants you to think that he is somebody that he's not. That's why he's super cool when he's on his streams, and then he's a dickhead when he's off camera. That's why he's nice to me when I'm in his live streams. But then as soon as he turns his live stream off and he closes his Twitter app, he wants to bring it up. By the way, when we were getting out of the car, when we showed up, he said that he wasn't bringing it up again. When he ended his live stream, that was the first subject he brought up. I didn't bring it up, he did. And I have tried countless times. I sent him a whole paragraph explaining my side of it, and he won't listen. Like, what the fuck do you think this is? What, I'm not allowed to have an opinion? I'm not allowed to speak my mind? I'm not allowed to disagree with you? I'm supposed to be your pet? Fuck off, dude. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. Figure out your shit. And I would say I wish you the best, and I originally did say I wish you the best, but now I don't, because after I was still polite to you, you continue to be a dickhead. So honestly, I don't wish you the best. I hope you get canceled, I hope you get your accounts banned, and I hope you get kicked off the internet permanently. Because you know what? I don't agree with banning people off the internet because I believe in free speech, unlike him. But if there's someone that needs to be banned off the internet, he's the guy that needs to go. That being said, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the Adonis podcast. Please go follow my pages. I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, I'm on TikTok. My handle is Adonis Ultimate on everything. My YouTube is at Adonis Podcasting. And if you're in the Miami area, if you can make it, please come to the Miami courthouse to protest justice for the Tate brothers. And if you can't be there, I will be live streaming at kick.com/Adonis Podcasting. Thanks so much.